Monday, June 17th, 2019, 5 o'clock, the BED Board has been called to order. We're going to be convening into executive session in order to cover the following. Section 551.071, consultation with attorney. Project Agnes 2, Project Compassionate, Project Green, Project Noah, Project Gnome, Project Technology, MLK, Project Bronze Star, Project Paint by Number, Project Molly, and 921 Main Street. Section 551.072, deliberation about the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, Project Paint by Number, Project Molly, and 921 Main Street. Section 551.087, deliberation regarding the commercial or financial information received on potential projects, Project Agnes 2, Project Compassionate, Project Green, Project Noah, Project Gnome, Project Technology MLK, Project Bronze Star, Project Paint by Number, and Project Molly. Section 551.074, personnel matters, to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of an employee. It is now 5:02. The BEDC Board reconvenes at 7:12. Coming out of executive session, we'd like to address Section 551.074 on personnel matters. We've discussed two different things. We, of course, have discussed who will be serving as the interim executive director during the time that we will be looking for a new executive director. And so we're open for discussion here on the dais, and we'd also entertain a motion.
Yeah, I'd like to have a motion for action on Kathy Merrifield to have a title change to office manager with commensurate pay increase.
Wait a minute. Can you? Oh, I'm sorry. Who's doing our executive director interim? Okay.
I can make a motion to make Fallon the
Go
executive
ahead.
director interim.
Okay, we have a motion at this time to have Fallon Davis as our interim executive director. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries. Fallon, you are officially our interim director of the BEDC. So thank you very much. And then also we were wanting to discuss one of our staff members with an office change. So I'll let Ron make a motion there.
They're right this time. So a motion for action on Kathy Merrifield, title change to office manager with commensurate pay increase effective July the 1st, 2019.
So thank you. We'd like to have a second on that.
Second.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, Kathy. You're now going to be referred to as our office manager. Thank you very much. So we're going to go ahead and start with any public comments and move into our regular business presentations. So we need the approval of the meeting minutes of the Bastrop EDC regular board meeting for May 20th. I believe those were in your packet. Does anybody have any additions or changes to the board minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Passes. And then we also have financials, acceptance of the Bastrop EDC's financial summary report for period ending May 31st, 2019. Are you going to present the financials? Are you going to, okay, then we're going to turn that over to you, and we're going to listen to your financial summaries before we approve them.
So a summary of revenues and expenditures for May, ending May 31st, 2019. The revenue is $1,824,534. The expenses, $1,964,540. A summary of sales tax revenue. For May, the forecast was $250,872. The actual sales tax revenue, $201,204. The difference would be that there were some vendors that paid early in April, so the amount of sales tax revenue for May is less. The expenditures budget to actual for May, we're forecast to actual comparison is a positive 16.75 year-to-date increase. The forecast for FY 2019 is $1,166,414. The actual amount would be $971,090. Expenditures for budget to actual, $2,864,684 for FY 2019 budget. The actual amount, $998,802. The BEDC Corporation Fund FY 2018-2019 budget, the total reserve is 25% of operating expenses, which is $614,248. And that ends the financial part, I believe.
Make a motion to accept the financials. Second.
All those approve? And opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. So on 3.3, we actually have two people who are going to be speaking on this. This is for the consideration, discussion, and possible action on Resolution R2019-0007 of the Bastrop Economic Development Corporation approving and requesting approval of an amendment to the BEDC's FY 2018-2019 annual budget to allocate $377,072 from reserve funds to be used for the cash down payment on a loan for construction costs for the 921 Main Street project to be used first in the construction period or project. So at this time, why don't we go ahead and have our public comments. Mr. Smarzak, I'll invite you up first.
Richard Smarzak, 925 Main Street. Board members, thank you for moving forward with a building on 921 Main Street. Based on the chair's previous comments, the prospective tenant will be a welcome addition to Main Street, provide an economic boost for downtown, and offset the cost for building a structure that for a now empty lot. It's a big win for Bastrop and the BEDC. I applaud you for moving forward with this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smarzak. At this time, Doc Jackson.
Good evening. I am Doc Jackson, 163 Tahitian Drive, and I am in disagreement on approval for this. I went to the City Council their second reading of approval for the 921 project, and based upon the number of calls that I received, the number of citizens that were opposed to the situation, and knowing some of the history prior about the building and about the construction, I don't know what's been discussed in executive session, obviously. So, I mean, I keep being told that there's something great coming, but I'm not aware of it. I don't know what it is. And so, therefore, since I don't know, I am still opposed to any funding, and especially funding going into the reserves for the construction of this project. And I just wanted to make it public record since I'd gotten, even today, I got more calls asking, are you going to the meeting BEDC is doing? And I said, well, it's already pretty much a done deal, but I will go and speak publicly just to satisfy the people that elected me and asked me to go and speak. And I said, well, I'll go and do that. And so I'll make it short and sweet, and that's just my opinion of it. When I was on the Main Street Board, I was very much in favor of the gathering spot, the space and everything, and we'd work toward that. And I know that a lot of people were disagreeing on that, but it's kind of a split decision in the community, and it's kind of really divided the community a lot over the situation. So knowing that you're going to move forward with it anyway, I'm hoping that it's a very positive, and I hope it's a very successful project, but at this point in time, I am still opposed to it. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Mr. Jackson, can I ask you a question? You said that you had some historical reference. How much money would you think the gathering spot that you would like to see, how much money do you think that would cost?
I don't think it would cost 1.8 to begin with, no. I don't have an exact cost on that as of right now. It's been several years. It's been 3 years since we are actually discussing that, and I haven't kept up with current costs on that. It was just that the amount of money that was going to be spent was going to be reinvested in the community because of the people that were going to be coming into town, and it was recommended by several groups, and I know there were other recommendations as well. But as far as an actual cost, I don't really know.
Okay, I didn't know if, historically if you had a perspective on that, because I think in the discussion because there's been a number of studies done that have said the
True.
highest and best use for the space is for it to be a building, and in my understanding was part of how that decision was made for it to be a building was because the park would have a substantial amount of cost associated with it as well.
Well, sure, there would be costs associated with it.
Okay, I just didn't know if you had a feel for what that number was.
Unfortunately, I don't still remember what that was, but I'm sure it's in public record from those days.
Okay, so at this time, if we'd like to open it up for discussion amongst the board members, is there anything you would like to add?
I would just like to make sure, I believe Mr. Smarznik mentioned it when he did his public comments at the council meeting last week, that there were, Richard, correct me, was it 2 or 3 studies done? Two different studies done, and please, if you could help fill in the facts, that would be helpful.
Yeah, Texas Historic Commission, in coordination with BEDC and Main Street, came, looked, and recommended that a building be placed there. So that was the first. Second, BEDC threw out a survey and let the citizens vote on what their choice was, whether it's a park or a building, and it was almost a 3-to-1, let's build a building decision. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smarznik. I just want the board to keep that in mind.
I'd also, we have a couple of board members who actually participated in the pop-up Main Street, and I believe they were sitting in front of the building and talking with our citizens here in Bastrop. Would anybody like to share that?
We had a really nice day, and I had only one comment supporting a park, and we must have, I don't remember how many, I don't know how many people we talked to, but overwhelmingly people were very excited about getting the hole filled up and making sure the buildings stayed intact. They seem to understand that the buildings support each other, and it's important that we fill in the gap so that structurally those buildings on that side of the street are, supported. They were very impressed by the prototype building that we had, the picture, and it was very encouraging. In fact, we had a lot of fun, so it was very fun.
Yeah, out of all the people that came up and were not supportive of it, it was only Doc. Sorry.
Well, that's encouraging.
Yeah, I
That's
had one when
encouraging.
I was in the hour that I was there. I had one also. So the rest of them were all positive about it.
Did they have any comments about the look of the building, or were they asking questions about how the building might be used?
They really liked the look of the building, and they asked, was it going to be retail or was there going to be apartments? They just were enthused about the whole thing. They didn't seem to have any opinions, definite opinions on what should be there, so much as they were excited about getting the structure in place.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and I had one or two that wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be a modern-looking building, that it be, you know, that it's going to
Yeah.
fit in with the rest of the older buildings.
Great. I was disappointed when they took down the big green backdrop that you guys had out there, so that was also nice. Probably not. All right, so with consideration for 3.3, do we have a motion on that?
I move to accept our 2019-007 with the following amendment, that we also authorize the treasurer to negotiate and execute any agreement necessary to start the design of the construction project and the authority to make those expenditures.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those approved? And opposed? And it passes unanimously. So, now's we already did the interim. We came out of the executive session and addressed that. So now's the fun part, to hear about the staff activities and all the prospects and projects that are going on.
So May was a really busy month for the BEDC staff. Jean attended the ICSC retail event in Vegas, and she came back to the staff with a really positive report of the companies she met. Another event I wanted to highlight was the event I attended last week. It was the TEDC mid-year conference in Rockwall, and that was a great time of networking, and I attended a really great session on crisis communications, on bringing retail businesses to the area. So it was a really great time of conversation with other economic developers and and learning a lot and networking. Also, the Building Bastrop Hop-Up Street event, as we just mentioned, was a really good event. I was there all day, and we had a constant flow of traffic, overwhelmingly positive in support of the 921 Main Street building. We even had 2 comments on the Facebook page for the city of Bastrop relating to the building. So that was really great to see that the conversation carried online. Excuse me. There's also a video on Facebook from the Double Eagle Ranch meeting that Jean delivered the keynote for last week. And so that was really good to see that. So we shared it on our page. For business recruitment, for May 2019, we had 4 out-of-region visits, 1 new lead. In comparison, or year-to-date, that's 28 out-of-region visits and 29 sources of leads. Existing business engagements, last year we did not have any engagements. This year we had 14 for May 2019, and that's 54 for the year-to-date. We only had 1 new lead from last month, so the numbers are pretty much the same for possible leads by industry had we landed all of the leads. This is really exciting. So one of Mike's directives to us was to increase the web traffic, and since our website is quite a bit old, we were looking at unique ways of increasing the traffic. So one way that I did this was through placing Instagram ads, and I was able to direct the Instagram ads back to our website. And so we doubled the number of visits to our website by 19% from last month. Last month we had 8% web traffic to our website from social media. It was a great return on our investment. This number has not really changed too much. Texas still tops the 5 states for the number of people that visit our website. It's very much the leader of the pack. It's at 815 visitors from Texas, 80 from Illinois, 72 from Virginia, California, 35, and New York rounds it out at 22 visitors. And for the countries, we have India as the number 3 for the country that visited our website. And this is really great because for Facebook ads, I actually increased the top cities in India to reach out to for the story we did on the Zoho relocation, since it's an Indian-based company. And so I was pleased to see that the numbers reflected on our website as well. So we're doing really well. We're kind of staying the course for Facebook ads, Facebook likes or followers. We're at 9,949 for May. We went up by 14 for Twitter, which is the most that we've had in quite a long while. I did do a targeted Twitter ad buy to increase the number of followers. LinkedIn went up, I believe, 4, so 177, and we are nearing 5,000 followers for Facebook. My goal for this year was to reach 5,000 by December 2019, so we're almost there. So I think by next month we will be there, if not by August. So for May 14th to June 10th, we reached 36,649 people via our Facebook posts, and this equates to an earned media value, which is reach time cost per impression, of $183,245. And I wanted to highlight this story. About a month or so ago, I reached out to the Bastrop advertiser on the growth along Highway 71 in anticipation of Zoho Corporation's move there, and they did a story, and then they followed up the story again and talking about the Bastrop County being the 18th fastest growing county in the state. So the Zoho Corporation story was a good way to tie all of the growth in to that story. And this Facebook post reached 7,992 people. And again, we actually increased our relevance score to 7. I believe it was 5 or 6 last month, which means that this ad had more positive feedback and cost less to deliver than most ads on Facebook. And the earned media value was close to $40,000. And this was another earned media post with the Austin Business Journal, and they contacted us to interview Mike about how the end of the moratorium affected the business growth and development in Bastrop. So it was an overall positive story for all of us. So the Agnes Street project is still projected to be complete by the end of June, and we're excited that we'll have an event tied to this project to announce its opening later this summer. 921 Main working to secure financing to begin construction. The downtown trail construction is expected to commence in August. Technology Drive, we received an interlocal agreement draft, and we'll be working with the Bastrop County, City of Bastrop in the coming weeks.
Fallon?
Yes.
On the downtown trail, there were several questions about that at the pop-up, and I would like to ask that we do a Facebook post on our website that has a picture of where that trail is, because people are having a hard time picturing that, and they're also getting it confused with the trail that's been discussed to connect downtown to the state park. So particularly since it's getting ready to start construction, I would just like to make that suggestion. If we could show the map with the trail picture, I think that might be helpful.
Yes, I will definitely work on that. That's all for me.
What's that? So we have quite a few things going on and lots of projects, and we're really excited to have them, but that means we need to work a little harder. So we are considering that our next board meeting might need to have a special session called for July the 8th. Just want the public to know that we may be doing that. Our regular meeting is scheduled for July the 15th, but we anticipate that we will be posting and hosting a special session on July the 8th. Yes?
If we have a special session, are we also going to have a regular meeting? If we have a special meeting, are we also going to have
Yes.
a regular meeting the following week?
Yes. I just
And
made
if
that
we change
decision.
our mind, we'll let everyone
Yes.
know on the 8th. We reserve the right to change our mind, though, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Legally, you're entitled to do that.
Absolutely. So with that, let's adjourn for the evening. Thank you very much.